of all of our seniors, members of the Board of School Trustees, Superintendent Haber, and all members of our school staff, we are excited for this opportunity to honor our students. Our expectation of each student to be held in high esteem, honored and respect for all that they accomplish during their entire school career. As the seniors are introduced, we ask that those in the audience show physical support, remembering that each student is a son or daughter, brother or sister, or friend of others in the audience. We trust that everyone will enjoy these commencement ceremonies.
Good morning. We will begin our ceremony with the playing of the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. Seniors, stand on stage. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Now Miss Katie Martin will lead us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance of the flag to the United States, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Glenn, for leading us, and thank you for choosing to serve our country. And if listening to Katie sing the national anthem doesn't fire you up, I'm not sure anything will. I'd like to now introduce our Student Council President, Ms. Krista Kane.
Welcome students, family, administrators, and friends to the class of 2020's unconventional and historic graduation ceremony. After the tremendous shockwaves that have rattled the country and globe, we are finally here. I would like to thank everyone who is in attendance today. Your role as a student, parent, administrator, family member, or friend has not gone unnoticed. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your impact in our lives. Thank you for tying our shoes, wiping our eyes, organizing events, and being involved as the village that raised us for the past 13 years. Our class has been through a lot. However, it hasn't stopped us, and now we are here. Each of our stories will diverge from this point forward, but I would like to thank you for all the years we've shared together. We've cried, we've laughed, we've won, we've lost, we've grieved and carried on as a family, and we will always be here when you need us. Congratulations, Vikings. Let's make history.
Thank you, Krista. Our first speaker this morning is Miss Sydney Duncan, our salutatorian.
Good afternoon, family, friends, and fellow graduates. My task for this speech was to write about the past. When you think of your past, you probably think about the great accomplishments and the big standout moments, but can then think a little deeper to the days when you were so stressed and tired all you wanted to do was throw in the towel. A wise Miss Schmidt once told me, high school is a microcosm of the real world. And when I looked to the past 4 years, I realized no saying could reign more true. In these past 4 years, we have learned more life lessons than in any other time of our lives. We've learned teamwork, discipline, we've met with failure, success, and most importantly, through it all, have become adaptable and gained the knowledge and experience needed to carry us through to the next chapter of our lives. I know nothing about high school is always easy. I know sometimes it felt like it would never end and you would never come out on top. But here you all are today. You slayed the giant, and even though it was unconventional, you got your diplomas. All of us here today have put high school in our past, but let us not forget the lessons it taught us and instead use them to light an even brighter future. To my class of 2020, I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations and thank you.
Great job, Sydney, or should I say Queen Sydney. Can we give Sydney a round of applause for being our 4-H queen this year? We thank you for those inspirational words. Our next speaker this morning is Miss Krista Kane, our valedictorian.
Good morning again, friends, family, administrators, and students. I would like you all to know, in true Krista Kane fashion, I turned to a notebook, several examples of past valedictorian speeches, written key terms, and former presidential inaugural speeches and State of the Union addresses in order to write this speech for you to hear today. However, as I began typing, I remembered this is only a 3-minute speech, and you've already heard me speak today, so I won't bother you with a filibuster. First of all, congratulations, Vikings. Please look around at yourselves and take a moment to appreciate the sum of all of your accomplishments as a class. You make me so proud to be a West Vigo class of 2020 graduate. Throughout the years, we've endured hardships and tragedy, but we didn't break. We are a generation tackling some of the biggest historical problems our world has faced within a very short period of time. Our perseverance is unmatched by many. Our endurance is strong. Our optimism is imperative to the survival of our world. This statement rings true due to the sheer fact we're here today, celebrating our accomplishments with one another, because through the dark times, we see each other in the light. This optimism, coupled with the action and determination our class has for going after what we want, leads me to my next point. Our futures are bright. Whether it's in the workforce, trades, college, or the military, our collective drive is the propellant that we must utilize in the world that's been turned upside down. I have no doubt the successes of our class will spark change across the globe. As we move forward, we must not forget the importance of the roots that ground us, the wings we must spread, and the balance that is necessary to life as a whole. I ask that you never forget your fellow Vikings are in your corner. Never be afraid to take opportunities that are presented to you. And always remember that planning for the future is good, but living in the moment is what makes our lives beautiful. I hope that you are never afraid to be unapologetically you. It's necessary to the human experience that we are able to live our lives with love in our hearts, determination in our minds, and empathy in our actions. I hope when you meet a stranger, you greet them with a warm West Side smile and proudly state that you are from West Terre Haute, Indiana. I challenge you to show the world that who you are was cultivated in a small community that bleeds green. Show everyone the true beauty of West Vigo High School through your kind actions and tolerant understanding. Be proud, Vikings. We may be closing this chapter of our lives, but it's all in an effort to open the page on a new chapter. Write a good one.
Wow, great job, Krista. Thank you. But are you done now? You're not coming back anymore? Okay, good. Just kidding. Amazing job as always. I tell you, this isn't an easy gig. Last year I had to follow a guitar solo. This year I had to follow a future doctor and who knows what part of the world Krista will end up and making changes. So thank you to them. Good morning, Superintendent Hayworth, Deputy Superintendent Goler, members of the school board, parents, siblings, grandparents, friends, and graduates. I want to welcome each and every one of you this morning to perhaps a place we thought we would never be, possibly the most joyous place in Indiana at 9:15 a.m. on this Saturday, the graduation ceremony for the West Vigo High School class of 2020. But before I start, let me insert a couple things. One, hallelujah! I thought this day would never get here. I thought 2020 meant the number of days in the school year, not the graduation year. Oh, jeez. Whew. Also, being that it's such an unorthodox graduation, I'm just going to be up front. If we've missed something, if we've screwed something up, welcome to my world, but this, we try to do a little better job. If there's something wrong, trust me, we will correct it. If there's something wrong in the program or we've missed something, contact me and we'll take care of it. And also, for those of you that asked me, how am I wearing this suit out here this morning? Trust me, you're right. It's like sunbathing on aluminum siding right now. So we'll get through it just like you will. I would like to begin with thanking and introducing some people. Although they're not all here today, I want to thank our custodians and maintenance for working tirelessly for the last couple weeks to make this field and grounds look as good as it does. Doesn't it look awesome? They mowed and mowed again, weed eated, swept, set up chairs, tables, risers, and disinfected anything that wasn't moving. So join me in thanking them, which you already did. Our school board members who are with us today, please stand as I mention your name. Mr. Irwin, Mr. Burks, Mr. Lockhart, and Ms. Scott. Thank you for all that you do. I would like to welcome a group who has helped each of these students get to this point. There are many teachers and staff members from all levels with us today. If all teachers, EAs, bus drivers, nurses, staff, or any of the Vigo County School Corporation, please stand. Besides educators, they are role models, psychologists, entertainers, listeners, and the list could go on, which definitely now includes masters of remote learning. I humbly call them my coworkers, and more importantly, my friends. The last group I would like to recognize are 6 young men who are or would be in caps and gowns today. Some of these young men have already left or will be joining the armed forces at some point after graduation. Please stand, or if parents are here to represent, stand as I call your name. I ask that you hold your applause until the end. Avery Ames, Glenn Brock, Gage Burke, Garrett Carlson, Jackson Morgan, Jared Theming. And I'd also ask any other former, current member of our military to please stand together as we recognize all of you. In today's world, it's awful easy to talk about what we don't have or didn't get. This morning, I want to start a little different and shift our focus. In fact, you may find this a little bit corny. No, I'm not going to break out into karaoke or bring all of you into huddle to break it down, 1, 2, 3 Vikings, although I think that'd be pretty cool to break all the distancing rules and do that, but we're not going to. But I'm going to shift our focus to your mom, grandma's, or whoever it may be's refrigerator. You know what I'm talking about. The fridge that has so many pictures, cards, report cards, and magnets on it, it's a chore every time you want to open it up to get a glass of milk. They hang those up to show you off and to be constantly reminded of how special you were and you are. And in my case, it was how awesome my sister was. There were a lot more of her report cards on the refrigerator than mine. That's okay, I've moved on, kinda. But let's transition to your refrigerator door, the one you created over the last 13 years. Again, we're not here to focus on what you didn't get or what we don't have. We're here to focus on what got us to here to today and those who helped make that happen. Maybe you have the picture of the first day you entered West Vigo Elementary and had Mrs. Frank welcome you with a smile and ask if you were excited to be an Eagle. Maybe it's that one day on recess you double dog dared your friend to jump off the swing and they may or may not have ended up in the nurse's office. Or that one day you couldn't wait to get to class until Mrs. Leidick, Mrs. Edwards, Mr. Moss, or Mrs. Easton, your story on how you got to go to Holiday World over the weekend. Even better, how about that dear soul who would give you a smile and a few extra French fries when it looked like you needed them the most? Perhaps it was the first day you walked into kindergarten PE class at Fayette and you had some big, bad teacher who had a name you couldn't pronounce. So your teachers went cross-curriculum to work on your letters and you called him Mr. R. But then the crazy thing is, you got to first grade and realized you were taller than him. Sorry, I had to. Maybe it was a time Mrs. Curley, Mrs. Wilbur, or Mrs. Pirelli gave you a big hug for doing so well on that math test. Or maybe just happy to see you that Monday morning. For those of you who went to Consolidated and were an anchor, what picture doesn't have Miss Vicky in it? There was always Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Nutter, or Mrs. Mars welcoming you on the first day of school, and before you knew it, in a flash, Mrs. Chestnut, Mrs. Banfield, or any other teacher were wishing you have a great summer. Maybe it's the time you performed on stage in the talent show, got a boo-boo on field day doing whatever it took to win the class tug of war. Or how to play the foundation of your musical career, the recorder. Then you upgraded from the recorder and went to middle school and high school band and played for two of the best band teachers, directors in the Midwest and all of the US of A. I know I didn't cover all of your elementary schools and teachers, but each and every one of you have moments that will live on forever. As for the middle school, there may be not as many pictures on your fridge, but in a few years, I promise you, I am confident there may be more of those than any other era of your life. High school, there's a bunch, aren't there? These are the easiest to remember. They're the most fresh. In fact, some of these pictures should be burnt or even thrown away, but we won't talk about those. Some of you came in scared, some came in confident. Regardless, you were welcomed by Dr. B and a loving staff. Walking into French class and watching some lady dance and sing in some language you didn't understand always seems to ease the situation. If that wasn't enough, you had the bald guy around the corner giving you a hard time and giving you some nickname that only you and he understood. How about the bonfires, homecomings, lunch discussions, developing the routine between each class to meet up with your friends, the morning practices, the bus trips, or the emotions that ran through you when you heard the phrase, "It's showtime," before each musical and play. So at what point does Grandma quit hanging up pictures? I hope she never does. I challenge you to continue to do what you do and make those people around you proud. Have confidence. Don't sell yourself short. Believe in who you are and where you came from. Focus on the positive. Get rid of the garbage. Stretch your boundaries past the Wabash and Ohio rivers. Put your darn cell phone down, take a deep breath, crank up the tunes, and know there's always room to add to your own fridge of memories. Let me close on a personal note. People have asked me why does the word personal automatically just make me get choked up? People have asked me why Cherish and I would move so close to school. or live in the same community as our students. And even worse, the parents. I get it, I respect it, and to each his own. But just look around. Do it, all of you. Look around. This is why. You are on my refrigerator. You are my extended family, and forever will be a part of not only mine, but our Viking family. I have embraced and cherished these days, and I look forward to the days of running into you at IGA, Martha's Snow Biz, the ballpark, or wherever our paths collide, and learning of your successes and adding to them on my refrigerator. Because don't forget, just because I'm not going to be able to shake your hand or give you a hug today, doesn't mean you don't owe me. Job well done, and welcome to the club. Dr. Hayworth, members of the school board, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the class of 2020 has met all the requirements necessary for them to be graduates of West Vigo High School and the Vigo County School Corporation. At this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Robert Hayworth.
I realize I just violated a rule there by giving your principal a hug. Principal Easton, parents, friends, graduates, on behalf of the Vigo County School Corporation Board of School Trustees, I am proud to congratulate this honored class. You have achieved an important goal. No matter where life takes you, your learning experience will travel with you. At this time, it is my privilege, and on behalf of the school board, to confer your graduation upon you. So, I hereby confer your degree as a high school graduate as indicated, with all rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are graduates.
Krista Alexandria Kane. Sydney Ellen Duncan. Haley Noel Walden. Sydney McKay Hawkins. Jenna Elizabeth Minor. Taryn Danielle Garzolini. Glenn Dewey Brock IV. Catherine Elizabeth Martin. Shayla Faye Albert. Trinity Nicole Alkire. Avery Joe Ames. Dane Michael Andrews. Taylor Ray Atkinson. Eric Matthew Berry. Kira Lee Biggs. Morgan Elizabeth Baylor. Trinity Leanne Brewer. Samantha K. Bryan. Shane Jacob Nealon Bryant. Cassie Elizabeth Buchanan. Riley Jane Bull. Ethan Isaac Burgess. Gage Joseph Burke. Clay Christopher Burson. Alyssa Lee Butler. Mackenzie Marie Bird. Garrett John Carlson. Kelsey Lynn Carter. Elena Luann Charters. Destiny Renee Church. Jerry Lee Cuffle. Olivia Irene Doherty. Maisie Ann Davis. Jacob Wesley Delatry. Robert Dean Dickerson Jr. Annalise Abigail Dooley. Emma Rachel Dyer. Brody Michael Edmondson. Chelsea Joe Elkins. Matthew Tyler Elliott. Cody James Estep. Kendall Elise Fields. Luke James Fry. Braxton Michael Gabbard. Logan Wallace Garner. Chase Dakota Green. Braden Moore Hamrick. Caleb Mitchell Hannis. Autumn Bailey Hassler. Jaden Rosa Louise Hemrich. Lexi Lynn Renee Hendricks. Kylie May Higginbotham. Caleb Ryan Lee Hines. Caitlin Marie Hires. Haley Mays Holstein. Blake Lawrence Howell. Lindley Adira Grace Hewlett. Celeste Abigail Jones. Brandon Michael Judy. Jackson Ryan Kinsel. Robert David Killebrew. Zavar May Coe. Hope K. Elizabeth Lane. Troy David Large. Brianna Jaslyn Maples. Mary Page Coretta Mason. Jada Allison Maurer. Kyle Allen McAllister. Savannah Jane McCoy. Andrew Michael McKinney. Isabella May Marie Miller. Daniel Christian Minton. Colton James Montgomery. Stephen Wayne Montgomery. Jackson Tanner Morgan. Logan Michael Murphy. Andrew Scott Myers. Ethan Eric Newman. Greta Ann Noblet. Emily Rose Noe. Haley Joe O'Neill. Aaliyah Rosemary Orton. Jayton Parker Owen. Garrett Ethan Paget. Kenna Rosemary Paget. Skylar Samuel Brandon Page. Julianne Noel Parsons. Bryson Michael Perkins. Antonio Orlando Petty II. Savannah Renee Price. Cheyenne Northwind Redmond. Madison Nicole Richardson. Jacob Thomas Riggs. Marcus Edward Reiser. Jonathan Bruce Wayne Roberts. Sean Douglas Roberts. Isaac Sebastian Rogers. Seth Hunter Rohrbaugh. Michaela Rose Rawlings. Cole Allen Rose. Ashton Brian Rowe. Eden Gabriello Rubinacci. Anthony Gianni Rubinacci. Jasmine Marie Jeanette Salesman. Lainey Shay Sod. Abigail Nicole Scott. Emily Michelle Schaefer. Ryan Gabriel Shaw. Bryce Julian Silverstein. Haley Elizabeth Smith.
Thank you. See you around. See ya.
Angelo Ralph Sobrivila. Dorothy Maria Sobrivila. Zoe Elaine Kaylee Sollers.
There you go. Angelo. Good job, buddy.
Brandon Matthew Stevens.
Good job. Thanks for putting up with him.
Ashton Riley Stewart.
Good job, man. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Brandon Michael Stroud.
Good luck to you, man.
Jaden Wayne Stuck.
You got fuel time right there, hopefully? Good job. Thank you.
Jocelyn Charlotte Sutton. Michaela Ellen Lynn Schweitzer. Joey Austin Taylor.
Good job, man.
Jared Scott Theming. Keith Micah Voltmer. Hayden Dean Weaver. Justin Matthew Wesley. Donald Wayne West. Marley Renee Westercam. Destiny Faith Hope White Cotton. Bradley Raymond Wiggins. Lydia Rose Wilson. Jordan Anthony Zadell. Caleb Austin Roush.
Good job. Good luck to you.
Austin Eugene Robertson.
Good. Good job, brother.
Riley Shay Trish.
Luck to you, buddy. Congratulations.
Zion Earl Lee Stevens.
Congratulations,
Alexis Nicole Stevens. Haley Mays Holstein. Melissa Sue Ann Cuffle. Bryson Michael Perkins.
Now leading you in the changing of the tassels, your senior class vice president, Miss Sydney Hawkins.
As all of you know, the year of 2020 has been quite an experience, to say the least. Definitely a character builder, especially for us graduates. We are one of, if not the strongest graduating class of all time. I mean, think about it. We've been through a global pandemic, have had a good portion of our senior activities get canceled, and are having to sit in 95-degree heat while wearing our caps and gowns for our second graduation, all in the span of 7 months. If that doesn't make us the strongest and coolest class, then I don't know what will. So this tassel not only represents us moving on from high school into the next chapter of our crazy lives, but the perseverance that we've all decided to hold on to during these uncertain times. It shows that no matter what the year has changed, disrupted, or wrecked, we've always pushed through and made the best of every situation. No matter what gets thrown at us, the class of 2020 can take it. So, give yourselves a pat on the back. We've made it. We've made it this far, and I know we don't plan on stopping. We are on our way to changing the world as we know it, and we'll do it together. Now please stand and join me in the changing of our tassels. Congrats, guys.
Thanks, Hawk. Since that aluminum siding has turned into pure sun, now we're going to close out the morning with our senior class president, Miss Haley Walden.
So, my name is Haley Walden, and I'm sure no one wants to hear one more speech because let's face it, after I'm done, we're all able to say that we finally graduated, after not knowing if it would happen anytime soon. West Vigo, class of 2020, we have finally made it. After 8 months of senior year, and the last 2 months of it being stripped away from us, we made it. Michael Josephson once said, "Take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey." I never thought I would be getting a call from my dad saying, "You won't be going back to school for a while." In that moment, I knew it would be one heck of a journey to get to the end. I wanted to be at school, I wanted to see my friends, and experience the last couple months of senior year. But instead, the community came together and tried to make it the best end to senior year that it could be. We spent 12 years in school. Were we all beat down about not having the last couple months of high school? Absolutely, but we got through it together. We have all accomplished so much, and this class will go down in history. I've never been so blessed to call myself a graduate from West Vigo. I can't wait to see where everyone ends up, where we will all go. Thank you to all of the staff for making high school the best years they possibly could be. And thank you, class of 2020, for always working hard, sticking together, and never giving up. I'll see you in 5 years at our class reunion. Thank you.
Shaw. took you 15 years, but great job. I know it don't happen.